My dear students, good morning to all. Today we are going to learn about allotropes of sulfur. Sulfur is one of the 16th group elements. 16th group elements like oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. These elements are observed. Polonium is a radioactive element. Remaining elements are known as chalcogens. These chalcogens are exhibits different allotropic forms except tellurium. And remaining elements in the respective group, these are exhibits allotropic forms. For example, oxygen is exhibits two types of allotropic forms. One of the form is dioxygen and another form is trioxygen. Last classes I discussed preparation methods and the properties of dioxygen and ozone molecules. Okay. Next, I am going to discuss about allotropes of sulfur. Generally, sulfur is available in the form of different types of compounds. For example, sulfur is available in nature in different forms. For example, zinc sulfide, lead sulfide. Okay, and next one, gypsum, and next one, epsom, these are the different sources of sulfur. Sulfur is extracted these compounds like zinc sulfide, lead sulfide. So the two compounds are concentrated to produce sulfur. And next one, gypsum and epsom. Gypsum means CaSO4 2H2O and epsom means MgSO4 7H2O. These two compounds are also main sources of sulfur. Okay. And next one, pure sulfur is available in different types of ores. Okay. So that ores are concentrated to produce sulfur, pure sulfur. That sulfur is added to produce different types of new molecules. That new molecule is known as allotrope. Okay. For example, sulfur is available in different forms. That forms are, first one, alpha sulfur, or alpha sulfur, another name is rhombic sulfur, and next one, second sulfur is beta sulfur. Second one is beta sulfur. Beta sulfur, another name is monoclinic sulfur. First one, alpha sulfur. Second one, beta sulfur. Alpha sulfur, another name is rhombic sulfur. Beta sulfur, another name is monoclinic sulfur. And the third one is gamma sulfur. Fourth one is delta sulfur. Fourth one is delta sulfur. These are the different forms of allotropes of sulfur. First one, alpha sulfur. Alpha sulfur is heated. Alpha sulfur is heated above 369 kelvins. Above 369 kelvins. This is heated above 369 kelvins. The alpha sulfur is converted to beta sulfur. Means alpha sulfur, another name is rhombic sulfur. Rhombic sulfur. This rhombic sulfur react with above 369 kelvins temperature. The rhombic sulfur is converted to monoclinic sulfur. This is converted to monoclinic sulfur or beta sulfur Okay. So first one, alpha sulfur and beta sulfur, these are interconvertible allotropes at different temperatures. Okay, alpha sulfur is heated above 369 kelvins temperature. The alpha sulfur is converted to beta sulfur. Means the rhombic sulfur is converted to monoclinic sulfur. And then the monoclinic sulfur is cooled. This is converted to alpha sulfur. So next one, the beta sulfur or monoclinic sulfur is heated above 420 kelvins temperature. It is converted to gamma sulfur. And then vigorously heated. So the sulfur, the gamma sulfur is converted to delta sulfur. So the delta sulfur, another name is plastic sulfur. This is known as plastic sulfur. Means these allotropes are interconvertible allotropes then at different temperatures. First one, simply alpha sulfur or rhombic sulfur. This is stable allotrope at room temperature. This is totally 4 types of allotropes are observed. Which allotrope is more stable at ordinary conditions? Alpha allotrope, alpha sulfur means alpha form of sulfur or rhombic sulfur. This is a more stable allotrope than compared to other allotropes. And the remaining allotropes except alpha sulfur, so all are produces at high temperature conditions. Alpha sulfur is reacted 369 Kelvin temperature. It is converted to beta sulfur and then 420 kelvins is applied. It is converted to gamma and vigorously heated, means high temperature conditions are maintained. That is converted to delta sulfur. Delta sulfur, another name is known as plastic sulfur. Okay, so alpha sulfur react with 369 kelvins. It is converted to beta sulfur or monoclinic sulfur. Rhombic sulfur is heated 369 kelvins. It is converted to monoclinic sulfur. So this temperature is known as transition temperature. This temperature is known as transition temperature. This temperature is known as transition temperature. Okay, these are the different forms of allotropes. And next one, these allotropes molecular formulas are simply these are formed different types of chemical formulas. First one, some of the allotropes are exhibits S8 form, and a few allotropes are exhibits S6 form, and very small allotropes, very few minute allotropes are exhibits S4 form and S2 form. The chemical formulas of allotropes of sulfur are majorly, these are exhibits S8 forms, and very few allotropes are exhibits S6 forms. Very few allotropes are exhibits S4 form and S2 form.